Yo, what's up y'all? Welcome back to a new video. Now, this time, we're not going to be doing a live RTA session, rather just going through my match history, because we hit Legend again. I mean, during preseason, it's not that big of a deal, but I figured some people might want to know what I used. But, I mean, essentially, it's just the cleave that's really strong at the moment, like haste, Janua, Ran, Book plus flex pick last. That's essentially the draft. Usually it's like a Blooming Lidica, a Rowana, Politis, etc, etc. But yeah, I'll just be going over these 5 matches. If you want to see my whole record, like, this is essentially what I fought. So yeah, we'll just start from the top. So first match is, or I guess from the bottom, is Alexat, and it's kind of funny because this match, I got lucky but unlucky at the same time. So what I mean by that is, I'll pause it. So the game ends in like 2 turns, right? So essentially, like, I can't S2 here, right? Because if I S2, I can't strip the immunity, because it only strips 2 buffs, and he'll have skill null. So it'll be the skill null that'll be gone, but then he'll strip the barrier and the stealth, but not the immunity. And I was like, you know, just in case my Eternal Wanderer Ludwig can't kill without defense breaks, I was like, I'll just send it, right? I'll just soul burn this S3. So that's exactly what I did, and in 9 out of 10 cases, I would just win on the spot right here after I soul burn. So I don't know. I was like debating if I wanted to S2 or not. So I was like, you know, I'll just send it. And you can probably guess what happened here. So I proc RNL, but then he leaves before the match like is over. So I was like, what the fuck? But to be honest, even then, I feel like it was fine. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't fine, because like, I kill 1, right? Ran S1s, let's say he S1s the Veronica, right? And then Ilwig kills the Veronica. I think Janua might have still had it, but not sure. Not sure. Anyways, so yeah, essentially, I'll just talk about the draft process too, I guess. So yeah, I have first picked Janua because I could have first picked Haste as well, but like, I don't know, I just felt like mixing it up. So I first picked Janua. He went double imprint, so I already know he's cleaving, so I picked my Wanderer Ran. And then he went Moon Bunny plus Flitty, which was kind of weird. So he kind of like backed out, but not really. So I took my Eternal Wanderer Ludwig as a bridge, and then Acades as a force span, and then he took Veronica, right? So I was like, I just banned the Sid, thinking he would ban the Eternal Wanderer Ludwig or the Wander Silk, but he actually banned the Acades. So I got my draft through, and I outsped, and then yeah, you already saw what happened. Now this one, this is a variation of the cleave that I'm doing. Like, if Janua is stolen from me, then I like to go Politis here after haste. And then if they take Ran from me, I just take Para, obviously. And then I just go from there. Now, I'm pretty sure I got outsped here, because my Para is only 307. But then I drafted in a way where I covered all my bases. So yeah, Ran goes. He S2s. Right. And he, for some reason, he doesn't S2, which I believe the reason why he didn't S2 is because he didn't want his Janua to proc yet. He wanted to wait until after I go, which is my only guess. Because his Janua, as you can see, his Janua is really slow, so it can't cut anything. So that's probably the reason why he didn't S3. So yeah. So knowing that, I take my turn here. I S2, right? he has immunity, so I'm not worried about Ed counterattacking. And then my pair's on crit, which is why I S2'd, so I can proc the Albedo here, trigger my Lionheart, and push up my Aiden up. Right. And then S3 so I can get the barrier and the attack buff for everybody, and escort, which would be nice for their team. Now here I activate Genoa now because if I activate him here, then like wait, actually did I hit him here? No, I didn't hit him here because I waited. I wanted to kill Ed. No, I didn't hit Genoa here. Yeah, I hit Ed here so I can kill him after with Lionheart Sirmia. I waited to activate Genoa with Lionheart. Right. Because I wanted Genoa to go before my haste. So S3 here. Activate the Genoa. Use my extra turn on my Sirmia, and then I hit the Albedo here because I know my haste can kill the Ed and Albedo at the same time. Because I already know she's on Aureus. So I hit the Albedo to chip her down, and I could kill her with the damage sharing. So onto the Albedo we go. So now here Genoa, he can kill my Lionheart and kill my Aiden, but my Bloodman Haste still has S3, right? So I'm not really worried. So he procs, that happens, and then here I'm just like, alright, Ed's pretty much dead. So we send it on Ed. And since I hit the Albedo earlier, she also dies, which is amazing for us. So yeah, and now it's just a 4v1, and he can't win this, obviously. I already procced his immortality, so it's over. So that was a good match. That was a way to like bring back that game, even if I don't take turn 1, because I drafted Aiden, and BMH like kind of trapped this Ran and their Genoa in a way. And he also drafted way too passively. I feel like you need to pick follow-up with Ran, otherwise kinda, I don't know, kind of a mid unit. Okay, here is another one where he took my Ran from me, right? And so he first picked Senya. So if he does that and I see Genoa BMH open, I'm always going to prioritize these two picks first. So I took my Genoa in haste, and he responded with Poly Ran. And I was like, okay, I have two options here. I can either contest with Peyra and pick Imprints, or I can play this sort of anti-cleave style, which I was more comfortable with, honestly, because my Peyra is not the fastest. Especially compared to legend players, right? Like my Peyra is only 307 and she's like way behind my Ran, so because of that I ban protected my Aiden, because Aiden's pretty good into Poly and Ran, and she's fast too, so she can cut a lot of stuff. And I took Celine because this will force Ran not to S2. So which will let my Genoa not proc his immortality, because he won't have the attack buff. And then he follows up with Ilwig and Briar. And then here I take in my AOL, because for Ilwig to push up, right, he needs to Soulburn Ran. But then if he Soulburn Ran, then my AOL pushes up all the way up. And AOL already counters Ilwig and Briar Witch. Doesn't counter Politis though, which is why I was planning to ban Politis. And AOL can also deal with Senya in a way by placing Unbuffable and then controlling her, so that's why I picked AOL here. And yeah, so he does ban the AOL and I ban Politis, but this is fine for me because I essentially trap his Ran again. So what I mean by that is, if you look at the CR, right? So because my Aiden is fast, she is actually in front of the Ilwig. So the Ran can't Soulburn S3. If he Soulburn S3s and he misses on my Aiden, he automatically loses. He also can't S2 because, as you can see, my Celine is on the highest attack EE. She's not on the stun one. So if the Ran S2s, the Ran's gonna die. And I was debating like whether to run the stun or the highest attack EE, but I think I'm still comfortable with running the highest attack one just because it's more consistent and there's not much RNG involved, and I only pick Celine in the situations where this EE will be good. and this is one of those cases, right? So the Rand can't S3, he can't S2, he can only S1. But then if he only S1s, then his Iwik still dies because my Aiden cuts him, right? So he's kind of stuck here. So he opts to go for the S2 and sacrifice his Rand. So I was like, okay. So my Celine cuts, the Rand dies, right? She cuts. Now here I actually make a slight misplay. I should have just S3'd like regularly into Senya, but I forgot that Iwik pushes up whenever I Soulburn as well. Like it's such a small like niche thing, but I completely forgot that was a thing. So I accidentally Soulburn onto Senya, which pushes up my Iwik, or pushes up his Iwik, and I was like, oh shit. Right?
I gave you a chance.
So we see this. And because of that, now at least on my on the bright side, right? He has to choose whether to kill the haste or the Aiden. He can't kill both at the same time. Because let's say he S1s and then S3s. If he S1 S3s, then he's not gonna have the hit chance buff to kill my Aiden. On the flip side, if he S2s S3s, then he can't kill my haste. So he has to choose whether he wants to kill the haste or the Aiden here. So he's like waiting. So he goes for the S1, so he chooses to kill my haste. So Aiden lives because he didn't get the hit chance buff. We counter, activate Senya, which is fine, honestly, because my Genoa procs now. And here, I go for the Senya because I can kill the Iwik with the Aiden. So she dies, and I S3 the Iwik here now, and give what's it called, invincibility to everybody. And it's pretty much over at this point once I S3 the Iwik, because Briar can't kill my Genoa and Celine because of the invincibility, and then she'll be stuck in a situation where she's forced to 2v1. Obviously she can only kill one, so. And this procs, Aiden dies, whatever. Doesn't crit, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so he goes. And then Sling goes, and then yeah, obviously Briar can't 2v1, so. Yeah. So that was a nice anti-cleave game that could work if you have these types of units. Now this one, I sort of actually it wasn't even a like draft. I just I got cheesed essentially. So first pick haste, right? He responds with Senya Wander Silk. So he's playing with the Senya Anchor, and I respond with Shuri and Ran because I'm like thinking, oh, he's just gonna race me with Para, but he takes Poultice Sid, and I was like, okay. I can deal with Poultice by picking Celine, and then if the Poultice S1s, then my Rand just gets to go, right? So this Rand Celine pick kind of traps his Poultice, and I pick a Fire Poultice last pick to just be another Celine alternative in case Celine gets banned. And then he ends the draft with Sid TML, and I banned TML because if the TML's faster than my Rand, right, then the Poly can just S1 and then TML can S3 and ignore my Ran, or ignore like my Celine and Poultice's S2 effects, and then I'll just lose from there. So I banned the TML, and it's also bad because she extincts on my units, right? So my haste can't revive. So I was like, on paper, this draft should work, but when we get into the match. You'll see that his Sid took turn 1, not his Poly. And I was like, what the fuck? So his Sid is like 310 and he procs Gab. And I was like, oh, this is so bad.
I'll carve you up.
Because now my poultice dies for free.
Shall I attack? Like the wind.
And I was like, oh man, that kind of sucks. And my Rand dies for free too.
My hand to the right and to the left. You're quite the dancer now.
It's Poli S3s. Celine goes, kills the Sid. And I was forced to hit the Sunny here, unfortunately. I really wish I could have killed the Silk here. But
Step back. If you
unfortunate.
value your life, don't say I didn't warn you. I'm ready.
So Haste goes, pushes back my Eowig. Or not my Eowig, what the hell? Haste. And I'm already in a terrible position here, right? So now you can Soul Burn.
Doesn't your heart belong
My units won't die, but I take a lot of damage. Oh, never mind.
song was meant for us.
Oh no, yeah, I did take a lot of damage. But then he just dies to that.
Teach you a lesson.
So I'm like kind of forced to playing this 1v3, and then I don't like. It was close, but with 3F procking and him, the Senya critting, I was like, I don't think I can live long enough.
Next meal.
If I was on Celestine, I had a chance to live everything, but I was on Water's Origin, right, for the cleave setup, so
I'll blow everything
unfortunate.
away.
I found my life.
So I get another healing proc here, and I actually kill the Senya,
I'm ready.
but Wander has her S3 again.
Song was meant
Poultice has her S3, and I was like, I'm just gonna get controlled again. So after this S3, I just
to
left.
bring you here.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let me get out of here. So unfortunate game, but what can you do?
Of the full moon.
I just got cheesed. So the last game, how we actually got into Legend, was an Ahmed game. Funny enough, and keep in mind my Ahmed here is like 298. She's not 310 because that's on my Rand right now. But based on how he drafted, I was like, this guy's a freaking turtle. So he first picks Haste, and so I respond that by picking Briar first pick and Poli, which is pretty good. It lets me go into Ahmed, lets me go into Rand still. It's a pretty flexible opening. And he goes A Taiwan and Designer really early. Designer on the band protection is like crazy, because I don't have to pick Rand here. I can go Ahmed, right? So I take Ahmed, Kisei, because Kisei can nuke this whole team. And he responds with Rimuru. Now, on paper, you might think Rimuru beats Kisei and Ahmed, but the issue with Rimuru is he can't, or I don't know what pronouns Rimuru is. They can't target Kisei and kill Kisei because she has stealth, and Rimuru only steals swift attack and attack buff. So she keeps all of her buffs still, and she can't get targeted down. And then because of the skill null from Ahmed, Kisei lives for free. So Rimuru was definitely a mispick here. And then he ends the draft with a Navy. Wait, no, who was 1, 2, 3? Yeah, he ends the draft with the Navy captain. And I was like, okay, I'll just play the ban Navy captain because that counters my Kisei, right? And I lock in a Ludwig last in case he bans Kisei, because Ludwig and Kisei do the same thing, where they're both nukers off of Ahmed, and both Ludwig and Kisei can nuke this whole team. So he bans the Ludwig. So yeah, we take turn 1.
I'll protect you.
I'll show you the interaction I'm talking about, where
Attention.
Ahmed goes, boosts up the Kisei. Right.
The shards of moonlight.
So yeah, you can see here in the buff order, right? Right now, it's swift attack and attack buff first. And then you'll see after I S3, I decided to go for the haste because I didn't want him to get that fat barrier after I kill something else.
You disrespect
Yeah.
me.
Go for the haste, and then you'll see the barrier and the stealth are all the way in the back. So you only steal swift attack and attack buff. And because of my skill now, I live for free. I don't S3 here obviously because I don't want to activate design a little bit. So I just go for the S1 onto like Rimuru, I'm pretty sure. The Rimuru goes, and obviously since she's still stealth, she can't target Kisei. And the rest of my units have skill on them, so I'm chilling. He decides to go on my Briar, Proctor Immortality. But now this is just over because I S2 and I missed on Rimuru even though I'm on Symbol, but whatever. We just already kills, so that was our legend game. Yeah, so pretty cool. So yeah. I also I'm gonna be recording an account overview to go more in depth because my account, like, I know I had stats for the Oath season, but my stats from that video and now are like completely different. This is what I'm rocking with now on paper, and then I'll go more in depth later. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Anyways, probably call it here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later. Peace.